All right, welcome back, guys. We are going to be focusing on taxes today. Pretty important topic. Not only kind of a pain that we have to pay into or pay taxes, but it's also a benefit to us in the long run. Helps pay for a lot of essential things in our lives. One big one being the military, public education. If you drive anywhere, the roads you drive on are mostly funded by some form of tax dollar and many, many other things. So it's kind of a necessary evil, something that we benefit from, but also something that can be kind of a pain in the side. So, Module 3.3, we are talking about pay and taxes. We'll investigate what impacts your paycheck and your personal taxes. So this is kind of a good example here. We look at Kevin and how much money he earns. Okay, so he's worked, as it says here, $60, and 60 hours is how many hours he's worked, and he earns 6.50, per hour. Well, he should easily have a paycheck of 390, as we see on the first tab right here. That's his regular pay. We'll find out what he actually gets to take home is affected, and he doesn't get to keep all 390 of his dollars that he has earned. So in here, in his job, he does have a job that earns tips. So he had $148 in tips. So we see his gross pay. That's $390 plus $148, which gives us $138 or $538. I think I've explained to you guys before, but if not, I have a kind of corny way of explaining gross versus net pay. Gross pay is not the money you get to keep. It is before deductions have been taken out. So before taxes is probably the biggest deduction that might get taken out. So you kind of feel gross when you see what your gross pay is because you are upset you didn't get to keep all of that money that you have put in time to earn. Okay, net pay, if you threw a net out in the water and you pull that net in, whatever's in that net is what you get to keep or what you get to take home. So that's also known as take-home pay, net pay versus gross pay. Okay, net pay will always be lower than gross pay, and that's because of deductions that are taken out. One of those big deductions is taxes. So we see here we've got payroll taxes and other deductions. These payroll taxes, it kind of depends how you want to file. So when you get a job, you'll go to your human resources person. They'll sit you down and say, how would you like to file, or what would you like your withholdings to be? And this basically means how much money do you want to deduct from each paycheck. Your goal at the end of the year when taxes are filed, okay, technically it's usually in April, mid-April, you don't really want to get a refund check. All right, but if you do get a refund check, what that means is that you've paid more taxes, you put more into your tax dollars than you were required to pay based on how much money you earn. So if you get money back, you feel good, you feel happy, you've got this kind of bonus check. But what you really have done is you've loaned money to the government, and they paid you back for that loan, but at 0% interest. So if you go to any bank or if you tried to borrow money from the government, you wouldn't be able to do that at 0% interest. But that's really what's happening when you get a tax refund check. All right, but at least you get that money back. The only trouble is you have not earned any interest on those dollars. You will have federal taxes and you will have state taxes, and depending what state you live in, taxes will vary. Okay, and some states actually don't even have a state tax. Nebraska happens to be a state that does have state taxes. Okay, then there's other deductions as we see here. That could be for retirement plan, or that might be for Medicare or Social Security. We don't quite know. But we know that $77, $21, so $98 have been deducted total, and so we get our net pay of $440. So if any of you have ever had a job that you had to pay into taxes for, you understand how this works. You know that you don't actually end up earning all of your money because some of it does have to go to paying for things. Okay, but we do. All of you guys are in public schooling. You get to come to school. on a normal schedule, or when times are normal, you get to come to school for free and get an education, kind of move yourself forward. And we also all can go to bed at night kind of knowing that our military is doing things we can't imagine to protect us, and we're helping to pay for that with our taxes. And there's great sacrifices made from those people. So these are some of the benefits and the reasons why we pay taxes. Many other places that those tax dollars go to, and many other ways that they benefit us. So that's what we're gonna talk about today.